what would Christmas be without ornaments? Here to tell us how these precious keepsakes are made is Hallmark ornament designer Ken Crow. Thank you for being here, Ken.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I heard Grumpy. If it weren't for Grumpy, you wouldn't be so happy.
Well, Grumpy kind of kicked off my creative life. I was at Disneyland with my parents when I was about 5 years old, and the parade came out, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and a cartoon character, Grumpy, walked up to me, stepped on my foot, and I don't know, at that moment I realized creativity touched me, and it's going to be a part of my life the rest of my life, and it has been.
Wow. You've been doing this for 32 years.
32 years making keepsake ornaments, and I feel like I'm just starting.
How do you come up with the ideas? Because each year to outdo yourself.
You know, I have a gift that I use, and the gift is to make people happy, and I get to express that through making three-dimensional keepsake.
Do they come to you in a dream? Do they come to you when you're shopping? When are the ideas you...
Dreams, shopping, vacations, actually even being here, I think I'll have a couple ideas.
Maybe I'll be an ornament.
That's a great idea. Would you guys like to buy a mark? Which one would be your favorite? I know that's hard to say because you've made so many.
I've made almost 500 over my career, but I think my favorite would be of my son and daughter, Jason and Michelle. It's an ornament I made in 1995 called Our Little Blessings.
Oh, look at that. How did that make you feel? You see these, and we've been talking about these keepsake ornaments, that people go and they buy these and they treasure them and they keep them and collect them as part of their family traditions.
Well, as a creative person, I have to have that feeling like I made something worthwhile. And when someone has an ornament, there was a car stopped at a red light in front of me. It was hanging from their rearview mirror. It was one of my ornaments, and it was like, wow, I'd love to have an ornament on everybody's rearview mirror.
That's amazing. Well, you almost do. You certainly have them on everybody's tree. That is for sure. Can you walk us through the process of how you actually make these beautiful creations?
I have a passion for what I do. Someone suggests a mechanical ornament. Ken, you have a week to come up with a drawing ideas. I'll come up with a half dozen.
So what we're looking at now is what initial stages, the drawing at a beginning, kind of just rough drawing.
That's based on going to Germany and seeing a glockenspiel, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be wonderful to have an ornament with a mechanical movement and characters moving. And so that developed into this, which is Winter Wonderland. And I created levels of like the mayor, you might say, and romance. I think of my wife and I when I make this.
Oh, like right there.
And this is digitally, this is when I interact with engineers. And so that actually has a motor in it and a circuit board and a battery compartment at that point. And this is what it looks like as I'm working on it with color. This is still digital. And then I take it a little bit further and I create...
oh my God.
And that is, even before it's actually made, that's a digital rendering
of it.
So that's still not even the finished product.
That's not a photograph of the real thing. That's the rendering of it. Okay, so where does it go from there? So now it's stuck in your computer. It's like, I got to get it out of my computer.
And the way I get it out is through a rapid prototype. And here's one here. And it allows everybody to hold it in their hand, see how big it is.
Well, why is it blue?
It's blue because that's the color of the resin the machine
that comes out.
Oh, so it's like a 3D printer type of thing that spits it out.
It's a 3D printer that over maybe 10 hours it creates that.
And that ultimately it ends up looking like this. Are these hand painted?
They're hand painted in lots of steps. There's even all the little characters have hats and things that are hand painted and added and
put. What do the elves paint these things?
I know.
Look
little
at that.
Tiny fingers.
I mean, you have to be teeny tiny to. And what is that?
So this guy is one of the characters in there.
That is the elf that's riding the train, and that shows you how many steps there are just for the colors of him and his packages.
Wow, so your job is also not only to create this, but to select the color combinations that go with it and let the artist then go in and paint that as well.
Right, they follow my lead, and my whole goal is to make the thing that just says, you got to have me on your tree.
Then so let me ask you this. You're still involved in this process. I know there's music in these things, too.
Yeah. I want to let everybody know that I work with people, writers who create music, engineers, a village, And I'm the fortunate guy that gets to have his name on this, but I want people to know it takes a village to make one of these ornaments.
It takes a Christmas village, and I got to tell you something. I bet you Santa's elves are jealous of you and your village because you are really good.
This is fast. What a great step a walk
Thank
through.
you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're phenomenal.
Sure.
You can find more Ken's ornaments and many more during the Hallmark Keepsake Ornament premiere in Gold Crown stores everywhere and online from now through July 17th. And I think somewhere Kim and Matt are also part of that Christmas village. They're here somewhere.
Absolutely, Debbie. Buddy the Elf and Mrs. Claus have got you hooked up for the best Christmas gifts. Wait, how come mine's not working?